Hello, and welcome back to the Barca Hub. Today's video is going to be very different. I'm starting a new series where I will look and break down the tactical aspect of legendary coaches and their respective teams. To start with, we have the legendary, the most reforming, and the most influential coach and player of all time, Johan Cruyff. And today I'm going to discuss Cruyff's Barcelona, which won the Champions League in 1992. So let's do this. So, when Johan Cruyff came to Barcelona, everything was a mess. There were depths, the team wasn't performing well, and even the fans were not coming to watch the games at the Camp Nou. But as soon as he came, he transformed everything. Barcelona needed someone who could change them completely, and Cruyff was the man for the job. That was a time when most of the teams used a 4-4-2 formation or a 5-3-2 formation. Basically, all the teams that time used many defenders. When Cruyff entered the Barcelona dressing room for the first time, he went to the blackboard and drew a formation. And that formation was 3-4-3. Our midfielder at that time, Eusebio, who was an important part of the dream team, told that we all were shocked. We all were looking at each other's faces and we were asking each other, what the heck is this? Now the question is, why did Cruyff go with a 3-4-3 formation at the time of 4-4-2 and 5-3-2? Let's find out. There are three reasons for this huge formation change. Number one, he thought that having four defenders to control two attackers was a waste, which is completely true. Number two, he needed a number 10 for the tip of the diamond who could control the game, who could give accurate passes, who could provide assist, and obviously who could score. Number 3, he thought that build-up should never start from the wider regions. That is why he had 3 centre-backs instead of 2 centre-backs and 2 full-backs. He also believed that wide spaces are very important for the game during the attacks. That is why he also had wingers. Now let us take a look at how Cruyff's Barcelona played with the ball. The goalkeeper Zubizarreta passed the ball to Koeman, who dropped a little bit deeper than the other two centre-backs, so that they would create two diamonds, one in the defence and the other being in the midfield. With those two diamonds, beautiful angles would be created which would be used to increase the fluidity and to confuse the opposition team. Koeman was very strong with the ball and therefore he used different methods to start the build-up play. Number 1. He gave long passes to the wingers if the spaces were too tight for short passes. Number 2. He would himself take the ball forward as his dribbling was very strong. While Koeman moved forward, the defensive midfielder Pep Guardiola came back and he played a temporary centre-back. While at other times, our third centre-back Munoz moved forward with the ball and Guardiola moved to his position to become a third centre-back. The only reason behind this was that Cruyff wanted a very stable backline and defence that doesn't make any sort of errors. Now the other two centre-backs beside Koeman, Munoz and Ferrer, were actually a mixture of centre-backs and full-backs, and they helped to prevent crosses and dangers from wider regions. Sometimes Cruyff also used inverted full-back system. He played with 4-4-3. Both the full-backs moved in the midfield alongside Pep, whereas the original midfielders Eusebio and Juan Carlos went higher up the pitch to create more threat in the attacking areas. Moving on to the player who was the most important part of the whole team. Pep Guardiola. He was the key for the whole system. His positioning and style of play were pretty similar to that of Busquets near 2010 and 11. Pep was there to control the game. He slowed down the game. He resisted the press. He gave vertical passes that cut through defenses, while all the other players had fluidity and exchanged their position very frequently. Pep remained there. Pep remained in his position, controlling the whole game, watching the whole game, and controlling the whole defense and the whole attack. He joined the defense and the attack. He increased the fluidity. He was everything in that team. The other two midfielders, Eusebio and Juan Carlos, provided fluidity with their movement and created many chances for the front three. Another very important factor for the team was the false nine, the tip of the machine, Laudrup. He was excellent on the ball. He had great awareness and movement, and he also created many chances for all the three attacking players. He also was very comfortable moving forward and liked to score some bangers. This false end position was very important in the whole system because this led to chaos in the opposition's defensive wall. With his smart movement, Laudrup attracted centre backs and hence spaces were created, and these spaces were constantly occupied by Bakero, who was constantly pushing forward or sometimes at the wings. Stoichkov and Salinas were also important part of the team as they provided the width. Cruyff always believed that without the ball, movement is always the most important part of the game. Therefore, when the opponents had the ball, Barcelona players quickly recovered the ball, and during the defensive phase, all the players, including the striker, helped in defending. This team was the team without any flaws. They were strong defensively, they knew how to attack, they knew how to have possession in the game, they knew how to use inverted fullbacks, they knew how to press high, they knew how to resist press, and this was all because of the great Johan Cruyff. And that is why this team is the dream team. Johan Cruyff was the one because of whom we saw the greatest Barcelona side ever under Pep Guardiola's Barcelona from 2008 to 2011. Without Cruyff's ideology, without his vision, without his immense contribution and huge changes to the club, it wouldn't have been possible. He brought the DNA to Barca, which we all are very, very proud of. So thank you, Johan. You will always be remembered. So that was it for today, guys. Stay tuned to the channel because many different types of videos will be coming in this international break. Visca El Barça.